Hi, and welcome to this new episode on the Singing Insiders podcast. We have a very special guest with us today. His name is David Hans. He is an amazing human being. Like when you hear his story, he's gone through so many lessons, let's call them. So he talks about, well, he's a DJ first. Well, he was a DJ. Now he's a transformational coach. And he is focused on subconscious reprogramming. So basically, the whole point of this episode is to look at okay, we all have dreams, we all have goals as singers that we chase after, and we all have aspirations. And oftentimes as singers and as people, human beings in general, we do have those goals, but there might be some fear creeping in, or there might be some doubt creeping in, or oftentimes we don't reach them at all because they seem so far away from our current reality. And David talks about a way to reprogram your subconscious to actually get anything you want in life, whether that's singing it on a stage, singing in a choir, whether that has nothing to do with singing at all. Like he talks about his DJing days and how he used to play in his room for an empty white wall, but then a few years later he became like the trendsetter in Slovakia of hardstyle music. So the way that he approaches those things, not only goal setting, but just anything that you want to achieve in life, is mind blowing. And he's sharing a practical step by step process to get you there, which is a beautiful mental training. So, as you know, I always work from the four big pillars of the Sing Yourself to Freedom formula, which are mindset, vocal technique, creativity, and connection. And today, the mindset aspect is really present. And if you're a Singing Insiders member, you have access to the mindset module, which will walk you through all of that. And what David does is basically, and that's why I wanted to bring him on the podcast. He and I have very similar approaches, but he talks about it from his own perspective and obviously from his side of things. So it's a beautiful um collaboration between our two philosophies coming together. So if you're a Singing Insider member and you have gone through the mindset module, you will find some similarities in our conversation, but from a different perspective, which makes it even more interesting. Sometimes you need to hear things a couple of times before it really clicks. And so I hope this conversation will do that for you. So, without any further ado, I'm not going to talk too much. Here is my interview with David Hans, all about reprogramming your subconscious mind so that you can get anything that you want in your life. Let's dive into it. Do up, up, do up, oh. Hi, welcome to this amazing episode with David Hans. David, thank you so much for joining me in this conversation.
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. Just pumped. Maggie is pumped. I am pumped. So, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yes, we were having this little conversation before I pressed record, and we're like, we should hit record because this is so good. So I'm really excited to have you on the show. We connected in LA at a conference, and you're from Slovakia, and you're also very musically inclined. I know that you're a DJ, and the work that you do is, in my opinion, just so powerful, so transformative, and so beautiful. So when we connected, I immediately thought I need to have this guy on the podcast and share this with my community of singers because the work that you do is just super valuable. So, again, thank you so much for being here. Today, we have a very special topic. Do you want to reread the sentence that you read to me earlier so that we can tease our
Yes.
listeners?
I have a few notes because most of the time when I roll. So I go on a tangent. So I had to keep
Yes.
a little notes. So my idea for this podcast is how you can get anything in life on subconscious autopilot. So
Isn't that
anything.
powerful? Imagine that we can have it's like magic. It's like magic, having a magic wand that gets you to have anything that you want. And I think our singers that are listeners can definitely relate to that because we all have big goals. We all have dreams that we're chasing. And if you can tell us a way how to get all of that with subconscious programming, I mean, that would be so valuable. So before we dive into that topic, just for our listeners to like get to know you, I
Mhm.
know already know how amazing you are, but tell our listeners who are you? Like, how did you get into this space? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
I know this podcast isn't about me, it's about you listeners, but just a quick backstory to know who I am. I am a guy from Slovakia who is doing transformational coaching. So I teach people how to get what they want and have the best life they can ever not even dream about, because most of the time we dream only in our conscious ways, so what we
Mm-hmm.
know is possible. But holy crap, if you knew what's possible outside of your possible, then you would dream more and more and more. And that's what I'm teaching my clients. And through my podcasts in Slovakia, I have the most downloaded podcast in Slovakian, over 1.5 million downloads,
Oh
already
my
1.6.
God.
So I'm really, I love giving. I love giving. I love sharing everything I have. So that's why I'm here. And then when I met Maggie, holy crap, this girl has the, okay, I won't do say the S word, but she's got it. She's shining. And just to be honest, when I thought about this podcast, thought I have many things I can say, but I want to relate to singers. I am not a singer, but I was a DJ, and I will show you how to imagine your career and have it in your reality. So, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. So, this is the topic.
Mm,
And that's what I'm teaching. So, do it for 12 years now. So, I kind of dabbled in it already.
that's
So,
amazing.
this is
So
me.
before we dive into like the how of all this uh thing, like how you actually do that, can you give us, because I know we talked about it earlier, like a little example of how this has played out in your own life? Like how has this been transformative for you?
Okay. I was a no-name DJ for a long, long time, and I always had this dream to be the highest performing Slovak DJ on international stages. I was playing hardstyle. I know you in Holland and everybody who is listening know it, but in Slovakia it was like, what? What is this? What is this? We do not know. So I started a new movement, and the first thing I had to buy turntables. Yes, I
Yeah.
am old, so turntables, ladies and gentlemen. I was spinning the plates, and I always, when I was training, I always imagined I would be on a huge stage and I was closing my eyes. I had my headphones on and I was jumping and jumping. And my parents came in, or my cousins, or anybody who was living with me came, what are you, what are you? And I was jumping in front of a wall. It was a blank white wall, but in my dream, I saw there were 500,000 people jumping like, David, David. And I imagine it and imagine it and imagine it. And then after a few years, I was there. I was playing on the biggest stages in Slovakia and Czech Republic. I had like huge followings and everybody else. I'm already off the DJing career. But
Hmm.
as you as a singer, I can imagine that you are too imagining how would it be to sing in front of thousands of people, and they listen to your voice and they love your voice and they engage, they sing with you, and you are living your elements and sharing what you have, your gifts. And this is what I'm going to teach you today, how to do that.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. I got questions for you, but maybe I should let you first talk about what you want to talk about, and then I can ask the questions that I have after that because maybe you're going to answer them along the way. So tell us how can we get to that place where we're first imagining something and then it actually becomes a reality?
Okay, I will ask you a few questions. Let's switch the
Sure.
roles.
Okay.
Did you ever try to change on New Year's Eve? Because we have now New Year's Eve. It's like, how you say it in English. What you set your goals for.
Yes. Goal
Have you
setting.
ever tried
Yeah, yeah, I
to
do it
change?
every year.
And did it work out for you all the time?
So I tend to set goals that are outside of what I think is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So because that stretches me to actually achieve new things.
Mm-hmm.
So 90% of the time I don't even hit my goals. But because I've set such a huge goal, I am in a very different place than I was a year ago, for example. So to answer your question, no, I did not reach my hairy, scary goal this year.
Okay, just to be honest, we don't take you as the measurement because most of the people, when they set New Year's resolutions, like I will go to the gym, now I will do it, now I
Mm,
will lose weight or something. They did studies on that. 3 weeks after the New Year's has passed, 92% of people give up on their goals, on their
yes.
dreams, on their aspiration, on everything. Because, and just to be honest, this is the subconscious things because we want to achieve with the 5% of our conscious mind, and 95 of our mind is unconscious. So we say with 5%, yes, I will change, I will lose weight, I will become the best singer ever, I will do blah, 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 blah. And 95%, hell, you won't. We
Mm-hmm.
like it here. So most people give up. And that is the problem because we work backwards. We work from outside in, not inside out. So we need to change at the core, like you said.
I love that you're tackling this because I do see that happen with our members. So we have a membership called the Singing Insiders. And
Mhm.
when people first get in, they're super excited. They're going through all of the exercises and the vocal workouts and attending the master classes. And then you really see a shift in energy. There is one type of singer that is very committed, very dedicated to their growth, and they keep on going in like a in Dutch, stay in the land. So a line that so they keep on evolving and moving forward. And then many singers, they kind of tend to like go back in their old routines, not do their practice as much as they used to. So everything that you've just described there, would you say those type of people are the ones doing the 5% kind of with their brain thing
Yes.
instead of, yeah,
Yes.
interesting.
Because to be honest, we all learn that as small children. Because till the age of 8, we are malleable. So we do not have the analytics part of the brain that
Mm-hmm.
analyzes and thinks, is it okay, not okay. We are just a
Mm-hmm.
small machine, like recording, press here, and we record all the time. So we record what our teachers, what our parents, what our neighbors, what everybody around us teaches us. And if we are taught that we are not good, we are not achieving anything, we are not going to be the best singer. So even with 5%, I think I can do it. But 95% thinks, no, you're not. And
Right.
that is the core. That is the identity we have. For example, I learned from my father that it's easy not to finish anything or to do for others everything, for yourself not. So I
Ah,
was doing for everybody else, just help, 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 help. And then I thought, okay, can someone help me, please? No, 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 okay, no, 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 no problem, no problem. I just do. So nobody helped
mm-hmm.
because I already helped them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he taught me. And I think, why isn't anybody helping me? Sometimes I use curse word, but I won't do that just so you go on YouTube, denote it, bam.
Thank you.
Curse words. Yeah, of course. So the identity was helping everybody else and hoping that somebody will save me. And nobody
Yeah.
came.
Mm-hmm.
So we are taught we are taught, sorry, English is rusty, just to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We are taught that we are not good enough. We are taught that we are not going to be a best singer. For example, again, my mother told me that I will never aspire to anything. Yeah, it's cruel, but yeah, that's what it was. And I wrote a book. And we went by a bookstore, and there was just a book reading. And I said to myself, "Oh, I would love that book reading." Yeah. And my mom said, "Do you think anybody would come?"
Really?
And that is the thing. If, for
Mm-hmm.
example, your parents never believed in you, it's really hard to believe in yourself. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
you have in your subconscious. So, in your identity, you're someone with, I don't finish anything. It's hard to be a singer. I don't have what it takes. And that's why the 5%, like in the beginning of your course, yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, everybody's singing, practice, and then it kind of,
Yep. Yep. So that is the problem. I mean, what you're describing there is something that we all struggle with. Those are all beliefs that have been programmed in our minds throughout our upbringing, whether that's by parents or teachers or experiences. And I recognize that in the singers that I work with. And that's why one of the things that I do when I'm working with someone is that internal work. So I always work from four pillars: mindset, vocal technique, creativity, and connection. And mindset is all about what you're talking right here. So, how can we overcome this problem? Like, what is your way to access that 95% and shift that into something that can actually benefit you instead of hold you back?
I was just looking around if I have my spoon here, but the trick is there is no spoon,
Yes.
or there is no limitations. There isn't a problem because uh
Wait,
you
tell me more
are.
about the spoon because we know what we're talking about, but the singers were not
Oh,
at that
sorry.
conference.
No, no, I was referring to Matrix, the spoon,
Yes,
not our conference. The
right.
Matrix, that you think you have to bend the spoon, but you don't have to do anything because there is no spoon. You do not have to do anything. That is the subconscious thing I told in the beginning, that you can have everything on autopilot. Because, for
Mm,
example, if you look up for a huge star in singing, do they use effort to sing? Like, I have to sing. No, it flows.
mhm.
And this is the flow, subconscious flow, because when we press on our voices, we think we're singing. I'm giving my voice presence. No, you're not.
No,
You're
no.
pushing to. That's why I switched to this super microphone that you can feel that I am trying to be. No, not trying, because the subconscious already knows what to do.
Yeah.
And like you are for teaching, let it flow. This is your singing technique. You can perform that, you can get better. But if you do not let it go, there is no spoon. You're trying to bend the spoon all the
Hmm.
time.
Letting go is such a big topic in general, I feel like, for many people, especially when we use the metaphor of having this backpack full of rocks that we've accumulated around the years. And then
Yes.
if you want to climb a mountain with a backpack full of rocks, that's going to be way more hard work than climbing the mountain with a empty backpack. So,
Of
what
course.
would be, like, it's easy to say, just let it go, right? What would be one of your strategies to chip away and let go of those things?
Easy, absolutely easy. I will transfer it. You have to change your identity, because identity is what is our frame, how we see ourselves and what we can achieve. So I am not a good singer. This is an identity.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, a few of your people have the traits, the characteristics. They do stay consistent. They have the discipline. They do the work because they have the characteristic of a being on successful singer. So
Mm-hmm.
I will ask you, do you smoke?
No,
So you didn't buy cigarettes today.
no.
So this morning you woke up as a non-smoker.
Yeah.
Is that right? So your identity is a non-smoker.
Yes.
So if I would hand you like cigarettes now, here, Maggie, have even no, 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 no. I don't do. Would you smoke?
No, no, I wouldn't.
Yes. You wouldn't smoke because in your identity you're a non-smoker.
Right.
But if I would give cigarettes to someone who is a smoker,
Yeah.
no problem. Because
Mm-hmm.
in his identity, he's a smoker. And that is the main pillar, the mindset. But just to be honest, it's not the mindset, it's the brain set. So the unconscious thing. Because change your mindset. If I am going to flip the Rara motivation stuff here upside down for you guys, anybody, don't blame me, because it's a really crooked thing. Because most of the time you get, you can do this, you can make it, yeah, make goals, make stuff. But if you don't change on your inside, you won't get anything, or a
Mm-hmm.
little bit.
Yeah.
So,
I want to talk about the identity for a moment and
yes.
get more into details because I do see that even when singers ask me questions. So I do want to highlight that for our listener, that they might recognize themselves in that,
Mhm.
because sometimes you don't even realize that you're taking on a certain identity. Like you're saying, I'm a non-smoker. That's so true. It's not something that I would say every day, but it is an identity that I take on. So, one of the things that I notice with the singers that tend to want to work with me is saying, I'm an amateur singer, or I'm not talented. Or, so that's the thought of I need to have talent in order to be a good singer. Like, we can talk about that for
Yes.
days. But so, all those identities that we start to form, what would be, so I think the interesting thing here for our listeners to think of is, who do you aspire to be? Like, what are your goals and dreams and aspirations? And what type of person do you need to be in order, like, what's the type of person that achieves
Mhm.
that goal or achieves that dream? Like, what's the identity then? And then you can ask yourself, am I being that? For example, I like
Yes.
to use the identity of a passionate singer. Like, you don't need to be a talented singer. As long as you got a passion, that gives you the drive, the commitment, and everything to actually do the vocal training that you
Yes.
need. So, being a passionate singer can be one sort of identity to pivot towards. Another one is being a committed singer, for example,
Mhm.
or just even saying, I am a singer, is such a big step for many people that sing, because they think I can only take that identity once I can do it well. But really, as long as you love to sing and you sing on a regular basis, that makes you a singer because you're using your voice. So,
Absolutely.
is that what you're saying? That we identify the identity that we see us in now, and we identify the identity that we're aspiring to be, and then basically going from one to the other? Is that what you're talking to?
Well, let's make it tangible. Let's make
Mm-hmm.
it more tangible for the
Sure.
listeners how to do that. Because
Mm-hmm.
most of the time we say, like you said, I have to have something, then I will do, and then will I be. So, for example, I have to have the talent,
Mm-hmm.
then I will do the discipline and the training and the and anything, singing, and then I will be a successful singer or a talented singer or anything. So the preposition is to have. But this is a crooked concept because if you think you do not have the talent, so you never do the vocal training and you never become, so be the inspiring singer who inspires a lot of other singers to sing.
Exactly.
So we have to flip it. Be, do, have. So who do I have to be to do the work to have the results I want? So if you let's go a little bit back just to be easy. First
Sure.
you have to see where you are, because from the inside out is, so if you think you're not a good singer, look at your back history. How many times did you sing? How many times did you try to sing? How good are you in your eyes, your own eyes? How do you look at yourself? And then you will see that in your audience, in your people, or even in your shower when you're trying to sing. You will see that you do not do the work because you see yourself as not a good singer, not a talented singer,
Mm-hmm.
not something. So how to change is, I give you 6 words. 6 words which will blow your mind, and when you really sit on your ass and do that, do the work and really think about it, you will see how it applies to you. So are you ready?
Yes. Gonna write them down.
6 words. You are where your attention is. Once again,
Beautiful.
write it in big capital letters or somewhere on your. My students write that all over their houses, all over their floor. One student sent me a photograph of her toilet, like the door, not the toilet, but the door, and she had all my really quotes, big letters and written down. Anytime she sits down, she reads them, rereads them, rereads them. That is a part of subconscious reprogramming already. But I will give you more fashionable steps,
Mm-hmm.
not just read on your toilet. What
Well,
am I saying?
I like that. So, a metaphor that I use is this picture of two plants, and one is growing, and you have like this little water bottle above
Mhm.
that gives the water, and then the other one is kind of like dead. And then it says you are where your attention is, because if you give water to the plant that represents your dreams and aspirations, then that's the one that will grow. If you choose to give your attention to your fears and your stresses and your all of those things, then that one will grow. So it's a beautiful visual that complements what you're just saying. So, but good
Yeah,
idea to put that on your toilet because you would see that every day.
definitely. But they have for homework to put at least 5 of this word you are where your attention
Mm-hmm.
is on visible, like chicken, kitchen board, toilet, door, exit,
Nice.
entry, everywhere. So this is the first step. So where you are is where your attention is. So you have to see, because we cannot change anything, we cannot change something when we don't know what we are trying to change. So you
Right.
have to see how you are by yourself destroying yourself. Just to be honest, you are destroying yourself with thinking, I'm not good. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a voice? Yes, I do. Do you have a singing voice? Yeah, even if you are speaking, you are changing melody, you are
Mm-hmm.
going up and
Yeah.
down. So in a few countries, you're already singing, just to be honest,
Yeah.
because their voice is singing. So you can sing. So why are you talking that you cannot sing? Because of this, but and then see, you are where your attention is.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good singer because you are thinking those thoughts. And this is the thing. You are your thinker of the thoughts because you made them up. Nobody, even okay, your dad said, or my mom said, you won't write the book. Hey, I have a book and I wrote and I had readings and all that stuff. But before that, I rather not write because I'm not good. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I was thinking that, and that's why I didn't change. That's why I didn't have the results because in the being, I was a non writer or non singer or a non DJ. That's why. Let's start from the end in mind, like Stephen Covey said, the second rule. Start with the end in mind. So I will give you a huge sentence just where you start because thinking the 5%, yeah, it's nice. But as you may know or may not know, affirmations don't work because they work in a small size, but they don't work because you are talking to the bad part of your brain. Affirmations talk to the 5%. Yeah, 5% is already motivated.
Mm-hmm.
95% is where the stuff gets done. Holy, I am cursing so much that sometimes it goes the words. This is cool. But it gets the point through.
Yes.
That's why. So let's talk to the 95% and be ready. So the main sentence is, who would I be? What would I do? And how would I feel if I already had XYZ? That's it.
Beautiful.
Who would I be? What would I do? How would I feel if I already had this? So, back to my DJing, I was imagining thousands of people just shouting, David, and I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
banging into them. So, I already was. So, how would I feel? I felt amazing. Holy cannoli. I would feel like the best DJ in the world. See that? I would already, that is the operative word, already have being, or I would have the career, so I would be the best DJ in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, who would I be? The best DJ. What would I do? I would train ridiculously on the turntables and just mash and mash and mash and mash. And how would I feel? Like the best DJ in the world. So I inevitably would have the results because I was putting out my content, I was making parties, I was going to events. I just did because most people are afraid to fail.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So can we dive deeper into that? Because
Yes.
I am with you on the because that's the be do have model basically
Mhm.
that you're describing there. How would you help someone who wants all of that, who understands what you're saying, but has this the fear of failing, like you said, because that is a huge major block that I see my singers struggle with. It's failure. They will not set those big goals because they're afraid that they might not reach it, and so of course they don't because they keep playing small. So how do you handle failure?
Okay. I will use Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, was the great, really wonderful boxer. He did a
Mm-hmm.
wonderful career. He had everything. So, and they asked him, how did you achieve it? How did you make that goal? And he said, every training I went into the gym, I told myself, I am the greatest fighter that ever lived. I am the greatest fighter that ever lived. And from that on, he did all the work, so he did have, be to have the experience. So, who would you have to be? So, what characteristic would your ideal singing identity have
Mm-hmm.
in the future? What characteristics? Because now I'm afraid of failing. So, your characteristic of being is afraid. Who would
Right.
I be? Who would I need to be if I wanted to achieve this career to sing, for example, Europe, stand something
Yeah.
anywhere,
Yeah.
or big concert hall, just keep it small, like 1,000 people or 100 people in small auditorium just to sing for them. 100. Who would I have to be? Would I have to
Hmm.
be feared of feel fear? Would I be fearful or fearless?
Right. So we're tying it back to the identity.
Yes. So
Beautiful.
how would I act if I would be fearless?
Mm.
Because if you do not activate the failing idea, failing feeling, you are your thoughts. So where your attention is. So change the attention and change it to how would I act if I would be fearless? Hmm. I would sing my voice off. I would do. Okay. Activate that. And you cannot think both. You cannot be
Right.
fearless and fearful. No,
Right.
one or two. So you just make a choice. So what would I do? Change the thoughts. And then if you have the feelings of daydreaming, because subconscious mind doesn't know the real difference between reality
Hmm.
and strong dreaming or imagination.
Hmm.
And like Einstein said, imagination is the preview or when a movie is going to show before
The trailer?
the trailer, it's a trailer of the movie.
Ah,
So
okay.
it's imagine your imagination, your fantasy is the preview, the trailer for your future. And you see, the trailers are all glamorous. The trailer
Yeah.
is the best out of the movie. Nobody focuses, oh, this is the bad scene. Let's
Yeah.
show it in for. Of course, there will be kind of failure, but everybody has failure. We have to change the not resistance, the relationship we have with
Hmm.
failure. I love
Hmm.
to fail because I do not grow when I get what I want. I
Hmm.
grow only when I fail and readjust. And then I help more people. Because to be honest, when I was 30, I lost everything I had. I broke up with my 7 year, we had a 7 year relationship fiance. I broke with her up. 2 months before, I was thrown out of my work. So I was living, I had only €5 in my purse, not purse,
Wallet.
wallet. €5 and 1 month of living expenses, not living expenses,
Like
flat
rent.
covered,
Yeah.
rent. 1 month, nothing else. I was eating bad food. I was eating, uh, I would say, dry dry bread, which
Hmm.
an neighbor gave me, retired neighbor gave me. She gave me her dried up bread, and I was eating that. And just to be honest, that was the best thing that could ever happen to me because I lost all, but I had everything to gain. Now,
Hmm.
just to be honest, just to show where I'm at, I have a wonderful wife. I have 3 kids. I have an online business with 400,000 plus per year. So I'm already there.
Yeah.
But I was at €5 eating dried up bread for the whole day for 2 months before I just saw that there is no failure. I
Hmm.
just got the results I was working for.
That is
So
so
if you work
inspiring.
for your limitations, you get your limitations. So what are you going to work for?
Hmm.
Limitations or your dreams?
Yeah.
And this is the relation you have to change.
Oh, this is such an inspiring episode. Thank you so much for sharing that because you make it sound so easy. It's a choice. You can always
Yes.
choose, like, where do you put your attention? Is it on this or is it on that? And you get to choose that.
Of
Beautiful.
course.
Beautiful.
It's like with voice training. You have to train your voice to be the exact pitch that it
Hmm.
sounds lovely. Because I
Hmm.
could sing, but you would say, okay, you need some vocal training, David. But if I would train and train and train, and just to be honest, talent is overrated. Screw talent. I was a tattoo artist for 14 years. I couldn't draw like the stick man. I couldn't draw, and I was the best tattoo artist, the most booked tattoo artist in Slovakia. Then I went to DJing. I applied the same things in DJing. Now I'm a transformative coach. The best thing again, I applied everything what I'm teaching you now in that business. So already 3 businesses maxed capped out in Slovakia, not the world, just to be honest. But in Slovakia, I maxed out. I couldn't achieve more in tattooing. I was the best. I was the most booked. I took €1,000 per day in Slovakia, and we're a poor country. So
Right.
€1,000 per day, you're crap. No way. I was booked many months in forward. The DJing, I was the creator of the scene, hardstyle scene. Again, the transformation, nobody is teaching me this, and already I'm here. So please,
Mhm.
don't let your limitations limit you, because you are the one who put the limitations on yourself,
Yeah.
not your parents, not society, not Maggie,
Mhm.
not anyone. You, and you can let go of them. Who cares? You.
No. Yes, yes. We could keep on talking for hours and hours around this topic, and I can
Yes.
just listen to you for hours and hours. Is there anything that we haven't covered so far that you want to add to this conversation, or should we slowly start to wrap this up? Because we kind of came full circle moment, right? We started with the be do have concept, and also we talked about failure and how you can choose to
Mhm.
either live in the fear or fear less. We talked about how to reprogram your own subconscious mind, and the very important words, you are where your attention is. So, is there anything else that you would like to add to this whole full circle moment right here?
Okay, no, two thoughts. Okay, I always say one thought, but two thoughts.
Go
One
ahead.
thought would be about the failing. If you fail, if you are afraid of failing, just ask yourself this one sentence: I failed, but what would my future identity do now?
Mm, yes. So, we're
And then
back to identity.
back. So you have your dreams, but you fail. Of course, I failed so many freaking times. As a DJ, I played for the bar guy and the security guy many times. Nobody came to my events. I was
Mhm.
1,000 euros in debt, but still I kept going because what would the future DJ do? The future tattoo artist, the future
Mhm.
singer,
Mhm.
the future someone XYZ do at that time? And you know the answer.
Yeah.
So this is one thought. And the second thought, more practical. You have to practice daydreaming at least 3 times a day. Just schedule like your singing voice, because you have to train your voice, of course. But if you do not train your mind, then your mind will talk you into not training your voice. So it goes
Thank
from
you. Thank you for saying that. It is so true.
yes, because you fall off the wagon. Ah, okay, I forgot yesterday, I forgot today. Ah, it's hard. It's not time. I do not have. No, your mind trains your voice. So
Mhm.
let's train your mind first. So just easy questions. 3 times a day, like vocal training, dream. For example, okay, one question. Who would not like to dream, like mental masturbation, I call it? Would not to give himself mental orgasms about how it can be? Holy crap. How to give me? I'm dreaming all day, just to be honest. I'm dreaming all day. How would I feel? How would it feel to me? This is the programming.
Mhm.
And like I
Mhm.
said, the affirmations 5%, you can do it. 95, daydreaming. So the stronger you daydream, the quicker it becomes your reality. Because
Mm.
look at the things not as they are, but how you want them to be.
Yeah.
And this
I
is
would
the thing.
even want to add, especially with
Yes.
singing, how do you want it to sound? Because we can see many things with singing itself. It's such an auditory thing. I tend to, and I think I did an episode on this that is already out. If not, it will come out. Um, on visualizing my performance, but not only visualizing, hearing how I sing my song during that performance, hearing the like subtle little things in my voice, because that gives me a clear picture of how I want my voice to sound, and that will also help me in my practice because then I know what to focus on. So I really enjoy that you're bringing this on, the daydreaming,
Yes.
and maybe even the day hearing,
Yes.
like making it visual and auditory at the same time.
Oh, when I imagined how I would be the DJ, I already knew how it sounded from the speakers, like the bass, the drums, the kicks, and the hi-hats
Yeah,
and everything. So I just went there and I listened to the music, how it sounds. I do not have my headphones here, but one ear there, one ear there. And the
yeah,
DJing, I heard, okay, this is the second one, the song, just mixing it because I was there. Everybody knows how to daydream. And to be honest, I have 3 kids, and there's 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years. And they they
yeah.
dream their play. So first they have to dream and then they play. Oh, this is the crane. Oh, I'm going to lift this. Daddy, daddy, come here. I'm going to lift this. See how I'm going to lift this. See, how am I going to lift this? Here already sees the lifting of the
Mm-hmm.
Lego stuff
Yeah,
already in
yeah.
action. So first you have to imagine, and then he builds it out from bricks. And this is the same. You imagine your career, you imagine the stadium, you imagine it, and then you build it brick by brick by brick by brick by brick.
Yes.
And that's easy.
Well, it is easy. It is easy. Thank you so much, David. This has been an amazing conversation. And I think I would invite our listener to listen to this episode twice because you've shared so many valuable things with us. Thank you for that. Where can people find you or reach out to you if they wanna connect with you?
I am, just to be honest, like you are doing your Holland stuff. I was looking at Instagram. Holy crap, she's writing everything in
In Dutch.
Dutch. Okay, I don't understand. Let's translate it. So
Uh-huh.
you can translate my Instagram, or if you want to connect, I'm doing it only in Slovak. But I thought about branching out in English. So if you beg Maggie to have me again for
Yes,
something,
we will.
beg her, and of course I can branch out into English territories because I love sharing, and sharing
Yes.
is caring. And how can I serve you? So write me on Instagram, David Hans, David Hank. She will have the link in your
Yes, I'll
episode
put it in
bio.
the show notes. Yes.
DavidHank.sk, like Slovakia. Write me up. I'm always answering by myself. No bots, no chatbot, no nothing. So I'm by myself. I love it. I love the connection. So write me there, and I will see how can I serve you to be a better singer.
Wow. Thank you so much, David. Really, this has been an incredible conversation, and I really appreciate you for being so generous with everything that you've shared with us today. So, thank you so
My
much.
pleasure. You know me. How can I serve?
Mm.
Thank you very much.